And boom, we are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy. He's Don Rickles' number one fan, Zack Elias. What's up, Zack?
I wish I was Don Rickles' number one fan. I'd love for Rickles to just tear me apart. It'd be amazing.
Zack,
amazing.
Because the internet listens to us after last week of us talking about Don Rickles, I've been getting more and more YouTubes for him. Did you know he did a series a couple years ago called Dinner with Don? You're welcome.
I actually did know that. I never saw them. I knew he did it.
There's a Snoop Dogg episode. There's a Galifianakis episode. It's worth watching.
I've been getting all kinds of stuff for shirtless fat guys. I don't know what that's about.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. We do it live. We post it later, usually Tuesdays, but Zack had a little...
I have like a part in my Jufro. I can't figure out how to deal with it. It's just, I'm going to roll with it.
Zack had a whole to-do this past weekend, so we're doing it on Thursday, but we'll get the episodes out. Rate, review, subscribe.
The to-do was my mom's 70th birthday. It was quite the scene.
Do all the things. Today's episode, tomorrow the Olympics start, and we're calling this episode...
And then Saturday at the end.
Faster, higher, stronger, which is the slogan of the Olympics, otherwise known as Citius, Altius, Fortius.
Pretty good, yes. Yeah, I know that from the Dan and Dave commercials from the 90s where one of them didn't qualify. They were the two greatest athletes ever, and they both sucked it up. One didn't qualify, the other didn't medal.
It should
I believe that Dave didn't qualify.
Zack, that is all the more reason to appreciate Bruce Jenner, or now Caitlyn Jenner. You know what I mean?
I appreciate Bruce Jenner.
Right?
The guy was an animal. He was the best.
Right?
That was the definition of what a man was in the 70s.
Yep. So
there you go.
With the Olympics around the corner, scale of 0 to 10, how excited are you for anything?
I like the Olympics. My problem with this Olympics is that it's in a different time zone that makes it so that I can't watch it live. I love watching the big events at 8 o'clock, track and field or gymnastics, whatever it's going to be, the swimming with Ledecky. She's the goods. I don't want to have to either get up at 4 a.m. to catch it in the land of the rising sun or have my phone tell me, no good. That's what they call it.
I mean, it's not much better than the Orient.
I told my mom she can't say that anymore the other day. So anyway, yeah, she turned 70 and now it's all dialing the clock back. Anything goes. No, so I like the Olympics. I just don't like knowing what happened beforehand. And your phone will tell you.
All right, well, just turn your phone off or don't check.
I'm flattered you think I have it together enough to turn off my ESPN alerts. Because I need to know who the Mets are thinking about trading for. Some guy no one's ever heard of.
All right, well...
But I do like the Olympics, and I like a lot of the events. And I like the weird events like javelin and stuff.
I wouldn't watch those. But as far as alerts go, can you alert me to the beer that you have for tonight? Because you said it was...
It's not beer singular. It's beer plural. Beers. Would be the plural. Beers. So I have my victory yada yada from last couple of weeks. The Summer Love and Ale.
Victory, that's our cry.
Awful. So anyway, Taste of Summer, all good. I bought a 6-pack at my local supermarket. They've got okay beers. Apparently I got snookered because I got a 5-pack with a bullshit in there, or maybe it's how they get you. So I had 5 of those Bad Larrys and this. The Sour Monkey Triple, 9.5%, and it's got a monkey with a green tongue. It's going to be gross. Now, usually I'm good for polishing off 2 of these because I'm a lager guy and there's no alcohol in there. And you could have 9 Rolling Rocks.
Start with
minutes.
That one then.
No. I'm going with the easy one first. I'm not making it to the bottom of this one. Whatever we get through, we get through.
You're chugging that before the end of the show. You're going to get, yeah.
You get to see me boot on live TV or whatever this is. Now the audio of that's going to be like Chunk in the Goonies. But yeah, so out of nowhere, my 6-pack has a whammy in it. That's a whammy.
That's happened to me before in New York. It pretty much is when somebody else is just moving things around, or there's a loosey, so they just throw it in the 6-pack so it doesn't fall over.
No. They knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. It's been planned for weeks. There's the guy who buys different lagers every time. Let's mess with him. Playboy, what do you have there? What do you have, LeBron?
Here we go, Playboy. LeBron, get out of here. LeBron was 2 weeks ago. This is number 5, sir. Mr. PG County himself. What? Carmelo, I think we're 7. Mr. PG County himself, KD.
I don't know what any of those mean.
He's from Maryland.
I know what I got it.
All right.
I know what KD is. I don't know what PG County stands for.
Prince George's County. A lot of Domino's players in PG County.
Do you take them? You showed up there cockstrong for a Domino's tournament. How do you do? It's a thinking man's game. I mean, you got them?
Are you kidding me? It would be White Men Can't Jump. They would hustle me. They'd be like, oh, like let me win the first round, triple it, and then just take my underwear from me.
There you go.
In the spirit
Almost
of
there.
The Olympics, I'm going with something called Ring King Pineapple IPA by Smut Labs, which made me laugh just because I had a friend in high school who used to call people smuts, and it was a much nicer way of describing somebody they didn't like.
That's not bad.
Release the Kraken.
All right, so midway through this thing, you're going to see me get my sour monkey on.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Tastes like an IPA. So, Zach, with the Olympics, I'm curious. Premature evacuation.
I got problems on my own here. Jenna Napkin!
Who are you rooting for? Do you go Team USA always? Do you have a backup? What is your
everything? Always Team USA. Yeah, why not?
That's it? Is there anybody else that you root for or against?
Finland. For and against. I don't have well, yeah, obviously the Soviets, but
for or against?
Against.
Okay.
I'm not against the Soviets. I'm an 80s child.
So I thought this was a layup.
Like Red Dawn for me.
No Team Israel?
What are they competing in? If they
I don't know, but when they do.
Hold on. Thank you. I got my
when they
towel.
do show up, you remember a couple years ago they had the World Baseball
the judo
Classic?
Guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we were on that team.
The mensch on the bench that was the mascot was the best.
I remember
thing.
that. I remember. Didn't they have some like real player like
I want to say Piazza was like the manager or something, and some weird.
About right.
All right, so now.
Oh no, Team Israel shows up against the Germans. Obviously, yeah, I'm gonna root for Team Israel.
That's what I was going to ask you. When it's Germany, for, against, nothing.
Always against.
All right, well, guess what? This came up in a conversation with two of the Jewier people I know, and your boy Fleisch is like, it's been long enough. I don't care anymore. And we were dumbfounded.
He roots for the Germans?
He says, yeah, if they're the better player, he literally didn't. And he looked at us like we were crazy. I was like, come on, man. I'm still not over it. I know I wasn't there, but I'm not rooting for it.
I'm not over it. I would go to Germany. I know plenty of nice German people.
So that's what I said. I went to Germany, and he was like, well, you're supporting their economy. I was like, that's not the same
plenty
thing.
of nice German people, but I'm not rooting for the flag. I don't want to be raised above my flag.
That's exactly how I feel. All right, so that was another thing. Zach, I'll give you winter or summer. Is there any sport that you think? Yeah. Anyone that you think?
I had this discussion last night after myself looking. So maybe they were in reruns. Half the teams on your team, they were asking the same questions over.
I'm not on that team. I sub.
Well, didn't it happen Monday? Didn't you play?
No, I'm playing next week.
Mazel tov. Okay, my favorite. Well, I like the big ones like the basketball, the dream team. Though I would love to see this dream team lose or this USC team. These are the pains in the ass.
No, what are you?
I'm getting to that. I'm.
You said dream team, and nothing about you is a dream team. I don't care if it was the best people named Zack Elias in the world. You still wouldn't make the team.
Oh wait, what would I be on, or what do I like to watch?
Hello, McFly. What are we talking about right now?
I have no idea.
What would you be your best sport playing, Zach? I'm not your best sport watching. You can watch them all just fine.
Fine. There are two sports that I would have a shot at. Golf, because it's not teams what they thought it was, actually. It's just 40 guys show up, 3 guys get a medal, and nobody gets any money. I play golf for free all the time. I actually played really well last weekend. But the sport I would probably do the best at in the Winter Olympics, and it's actually my favorite Winter Olympic sport, is border cross. 4 people get at the top of the mountain. First one down wins. You can arm fight. You can push. It's like roller derby on a mountain. I could do with that. I fought people down a mountain before. I got yelled at in Italy for bumping backs with some Italian guy. Yelled at me in 3 languages.
Backs. But that was just in that Triangle Hotel you were bumping backs, right?
Oh, yeah, of course. Then we went on the mountain.
Same week?
It was the same week, actually. Yeah, I got yelled at in 3 languages, and I laughed at the guy, and he flipped out on me. He opened with that, then he went to German, then he went to English. So he looked at his snowboard and noticed I was a lunatic.
Goes around 3 languages. That's awesome.
Yeah, he finally got to the snowboard and realized I was an American, which didn't land either. But no, border cross would be my event. If you gave me gun to my head, I've got to fight my way down a mountain, I could do it.
I think I could kill the skeleton luge thing.
The guy was just
how hard? I know that I'm like really minimalizing this.
As Seinfeld says, it's not a bobsled; it's just Bob.
I think I could do it. I just
you go head first or feet first. You go head first in that one, don't you?
Oh, then the other one.
Or the 2-man where you're stacked on top of some guy, the guy's schwanz.
But like when it comes to bobsledding, how am I completely underestimating how hard this event is?
I mean, do you have the weights in the front of the sled like John Candy put them there from Cool Runnings, or are you doing it clean? If you do it clean, it's hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. The skeleton, I guess, don't you just have to have heavy feet? Isn't that the whole thing? Like fat feet?
The person with the lightest. You want this? I mean, I'm sure there's a ratio of how strong you are to weight or whatever.
No, you want light, but you want a heavy at the bottom, heavy feet.
I'm just saying,
or big head if you go head first. I don't know.
I'm not playing in the NFL anytime soon. But if you gave me a couple of years, I think I can make the curling team. Just saying.
Curling is mesmerizing. By the way, they have one in Ardsley. Every year I say, we got to go. I'll drive. No one ever wants to go with me. You want to curl this winter?
Delaware?
I don't know what Delaware is. Ardsley, Westchester. It's like 8 minutes from my house.
I've been there. It's
curling?
Actually, I've been there, yeah.
You've curled? No invite?
Just many moons before you, sir.
Still.
It's very... You play and you buy the first round and they buy the second round. It was whatever.
Who's they? Team Canada?
The other team.
No, I don't know about that.
When you're in the Olympic Village, how many condoms do you think you'd go through? Because that's a whole thing.
Condoms?
They
don't use condoms there. Half those like Serbians are unsnipped. Anything goes. They don't make them like that.
But tell me though, honestly, have you followed?
They're crushing all kinds of ass. Oh yeah, diseases run rampant.
So that's
how diseases cross borders. The Olympics.
I think the Olympics are going to have a big Lambda Delta thing. I really do. I think this is going to be a big. No, I'm assuming there is
Delta's code for ass to mouth, right?
I think something's wrong with his medulla oblongata.
Exactly. You put your Lambda and her Delta.
But tell me honestly, there's an Austrian running around with like a balloon fight with these condoms, right? Like they're not actually using, right?
No, athletes don't use condoms.
So the
NBA.
The last time the numbers were measured in 2016, they said each athlete used 42 condoms in the time that they were there.
That's amazing.
I mean, the goal is...
They send a lot of them home after you don't keep qualifying. So the guys who are going deep into the Olympics are going deep.
There's no way they're really taking them to go home and have some type of distribution. You think Lindsey Vonn did that? No.
No, she's raw dog. Lindsey Vonn's not used to acquiring condoms. And what if you don't get Lindsey Vonn? Do you have to go for like, the weightlifters? Like where do you gotta 3 a.m. you gotta do something.
It's the same thing like a bar, a straggler.
A straggler. Mangold Sisters, a straggler. It'll kill you.
Now, did you hear about the anti-sex beds that they installed this year?
No.
So to deter...
Did they make you just get married? Because I got one of those.
That's called a regular bed when I'm married.
Yeah, at my house, it's a regular bed. It's right here.
They installed these hard cardboard, kind of like Breakaway, not sponsored by the Breakaway, but Breakaway beds. Basically, if you exceed the weight limit, they collapse on you, so you can't have two people in bed. Apparently,
what happens if like the two little figures, the two little gymnasts, they weigh nothing?
Maybe they just can't
go to town.
No more monkeys jumping on the bed.
That's it for us. You're canceled.
I heard about this. I was like, that apparently a snowboarder has already come out and said the beds are very uncomfortable, which means he didn't bring his weed because you can't do that anymore.
Yeah. No, you can't. So they're uncomfortable just to sleep on. So I don't know, sleep on the floor. Go find some gym mats. There's mats all over that place.
My favorite event to watch, which gets the biggest ratings every time, is opening ceremonies, which I think is going to be super weird tomorrow. It's a thing to watch where, they're doing open ceremonies with only like, I think I said 900 VIPs.
VIPs?
Very
the last P for people.
People.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be weird. The people showing up and kind of Nobody's there, and
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that. So
So, but what's your athletic event? What are you into?
oh, to watch.
Yeah. What gets you there?
Again, in the summer, it's the basketball. It's the track. I mean, I'll watch Usain Bolt read the.
Oh, I
phone.
love the 100.
Yeah. Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Johnson for me, he was unbelievable. Love
Because
Michael Johnson.
yeah, Johnson versus Donovan Bailey back in the day. The fastest man. We talked about this with the All-Star game.
Yeah.
A title of the hardest pitcher, the hardest shot. Like if you can walk around saying you're the fastest man.
You said you didn't want to see my freaky games at the All-Star game.
No,
my carnival games.
I do.
Pitch deep.
I do. Meanwhile, my fantasy team is suffering because everybody's fucking injured right now because Freddie Peralta.
I have to issue 2 public apologies right now. One
Yeah.
for the All-Star game because I was an idiot about DeGrom because he's immediately hurt. And 2, and you said something about our sponsor. Now, I'm not sure they're the best.
Me? I am the best.
You're okay. After laundry day on Monday, the first 2 pairs I wear of the week are both the MeUndies. So I will wish a public apology. I don't know if they're the best, but they're probably the best that I have.
Hey, to me?
The most comfy. They're just the first. Even subconsciously, I realized it today while wearing them. Like, you know what? These are the first 2 pairs I pull out of the drawer. So MeUndies, I'm sorry. Continuously sponsor us.
No, sorry to me. I was the person who said they're very comfortable.
They are very comfortable. And I didn't even realize they're the first 2 pairs out of the chute.
Yes.
But go on.
So this past week, I went down to the beach with my family. It was my Aunt Marlene, who's noticeably absent from tonight's live podcast, my cousin Samantha, her husband, her kids, my cousin Shelby, and the whole time. Because, they make up 3 of our listeners, if not live listeners the whole time,
Yeah.
plus my cousin Andrew. And they're like, what are you going to talk about this week? What are you going to say? You're not going to say this. You're not going to say that. I had a great time. I had so much fun.
You're cock of the walk.
30s. I was there with them for 30 hours, and it felt like I was there forever. I had a great time. 2 things happened, which I guess I'm curious on. So a kid next to us is building castles, little sand castles.
Kick it over, right? Gotta kick it over.
High tide comes in towards the end of the day and takes it out, and he had this look of this kind of what the Zach, I burst out laughing. I thought it was so funny.
It is funny.
Am I terrible?
No, I laughed my ass off too. It's funny. Watching little kids get learn about the facts of life. You know what? The world's gonna knock down your sandcastle. Build another one or don't. I don't give a shit.
I learned about the facts of life from the show.
Drink this thing, by the way.
The Facts of Life.
Yeah, I like the facts of life.
So that made me laugh very hard. And then here's a segue.
It's like apple juice. This is bad. There's not a lot of carbonation. And it's like juicy juice. Oof.
Have you ever seen, because we were talking about the Olympics, on the carousel, this is the first time I've ever seen this, where you're going around the carousel and then a little metal arm comes down, and as it goes around, you reach out.
Ring?
Yeah.
You've never seen a ring carousel?
Never.
What kind of poor childhood did you have?
Very poor.
Mine had coins. You have to keep them. Dollars. No, it's a ring.
We were watching this ring go around. And
you come so close to tipping off the thing, but you get the ring, and it's a thrill.
We couldn't tell if somebody was actually grabbing it, because on the ride before we went on,
there's a lot of rings in the chute.
Well, yeah.
Coming.
The guy had, he had a Ugandan, wristwatch, essentially.
They're that big. The rings in my thing were small. They were
they were big enough that he was putting, maybe it was around his finger or something. And then when I'd never seen that before, grabbing the ring.
Excuse me, Ugandan wristwatch? Who are you?
I'm going for it, baby. I'm doing
That's
it.
like in the Dream Team Olympics when Barkley fouled that guy from Senegal, and he said he might have had a spear. He caught hell for that before people got canceled.
He did. So keeping the segues going with Ugandans. Drink.
Segue.
Zach, I have a new black friend.
I'll take the hook. Go on.
So back in the day, I used to talk about my one black friend, and then people would ask about him, and I said, well, he's Dominican. And they go, well, then he's not. But now I think we're back to they are black, but I don't know. But
Lin-Manuel Miranda, who caught hell for that.
So it was at that party a couple weeks ago where I got burned so bad by somebody. So I'm sitting there at the party, I'm talking to this guy, real big guy, his name's Shaka, really cool guy, and I'm really hungry. I go and grab some wings. There were some grilled wings. I start eating them. And the woman sitting next to him, this lovely Chinese girl who's his girlfriend, she turns to me and she goes, how are the wings? And I said, they're not great. You should probably get like a burger or something. And she just stops and she turns to her friend. She goes, she's the one that made them. And I was like, you son of a bitch.
Amazing.
I had
teed it up.
I went, no. They're pretty good. They're fine. She goes, no. We already know. The rest of the night, I'm trying to apologize. But she didn't tell me. Like, oh, I made them. Are they good or whatever? But we went out to dinner the other night. We did a double date, all you can eat, hot pot and Korean barbecue. BYOB. It was amazing.
And notice I wasn't invited to either the barbecue or the dinner.
It was in Jersey City.
I'm not going to go. But I wouldn't have liked to be invited.
No. It's the same thing. Korean barbecue and hot pot. It's at the same table. You boil here or you grill here.
But led to that was not. I was sans invite to that.
Okay. Anyway, I am there, and this guy's telling jokes the whole night. And I'm sorry, he's talking about different things, and I'm just throwing in my little jokes here and there. And things are getting chuckles. And then I said the dumbest thing ever. I don't remember what it was. I got an applause break, Zach. The two of them are falling over, and I stopped. I said, "That's what did it. It was one of those nights where I was trying to get a laugh and being silly." Anyways, mind you, he's black, she's Chinese, and Julia's half. So we got 3.5 diversity or 2.5 diverse people at this table. And then we're talking
you're a regular Benetton ad.
So we're talking about something, and then he goes, well, were they from China or ABC? And I said, wait, what? He goes, ABC. Do you know what that stands for?
ABC?
American Born Chinese.
Wow. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. I didn't know that was a line we're using now.
But is that like acceptable nomenclature, or is it sort of like jokes?
Do you think all the nomenclature that we use, they know about?
Yes.
You think so?
No.
No. So this was one of those words where I said, maybe that's just not something.
No.
Does
it's Yiddish have any terms for Asian people? They don't, do they? Maybe they do. I never had to use one.
Why don't you call your mother?
Oh,
you know what they say? I mean, I don't use this word, but they say the Chinaman.
That's not Yiddish. That's an English word. It's not loved. It's looked down upon.
You want me to get my bubby on the phone right now?
Oh, that's how she opens the conversation, and it goes on from there.
All right. Well, Zach, we've reached that part of the podcast where we're about to do some trivia, and
I'm drinking this shit.
I think you know what the trivia is about.
Your bubby?
It's about
the Asian people.
It's about the Olympics.
Right.
That's Superman. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Question.
I started singing with me. Go on. Yeah. What's up?
Question number 1. What are the 5 colors of the Olympic rings?
So we've got green, yellow, black, red, and blue.
Those were not in order. I'm going to give you partial credit.
Order?
There's an order.
Yourself.
Seder. It means order.
God.
You get the point, obviously. I'm just being but it is blue, yellow, black, green, red in that order.
And you can go fuck yourself for more points. Mr. Purple is on another job in the Reservoir Dogs. I watched part of it the other night.
Do you know why they chose those colors? Because this is something like a fun fact I've always known.
Those are the official colors of each continent.
So they do represent the 5 continents, but it's more that every flag has one of those colors in it. So that's kind of why they chose those. So that recommends all the colors.
I think I just said literally that, but okay, go on.
No, you said represent the continent, and I said every country is represented by one of those colors. Anyway, question the second. When and where was the first modern Olympic Games? I'll give you plus or minus 25 years.
Athens was where the first one, I believe, was held. 1920. No. Yes.
Yes? You want 1920?
Yeah.
Correct answer is 1896. Circle gets the square.
By a very, very slim margin.
I thought that was a fair thing. The winner, do you know what they gave the winners back then?
Well, it was Athens, right?
It said Greece. I assume it's Athens.
Oh, well, if it's Greece, and what does the winner get? He gets anal. That's what Greece is known for.
Oh, my God.
That's what they're known for.
They used to give the olive branch crown.
Yeah, the thing on the head.
Right. That's not a schmata.
Whatever it is, that little stupid crown.
And in 1904 is when they introduced medals. Side note, pet peeve of mine, when they bite the medal. I hate it. I think it's so stupid.
It's pretty dumb. I'm really hoping they crack their tooth.
Absolutely.
It would be amazing. Their tooth just shatters.
On air. All right. Question number 3. How many times have the Olympics been canceled? Not by cancel culture, but by canceled for something. In the modern era, I'm talking here.
We're talking both summer and winter? Any sort of Olympic or just summer?
I think it's just summer.
I think they've been canceled twice.
Higher.
Higher?
And if you stop and think about it, you could probably get it.
Like one was for war. I think one was for the 1919 pandemic, and once was something else.
If you did the math, this is one of those if you sat down. So 1916 canceled.
Yeah. Right.
1940 canceled.
I just said those two. What am I missing?
1944 canceled. Things were not still. It was kind of the tail end there, and then 2020.
Oh, I forgot about that's not canceled. It's postponed, but not canceled. I call bullshit.
You still
I
were
still
wrong.
got it wrong, but I still call bullshit. It's 3, not 4. I didn't realize both World War II ones. I remember Hitler and Jesse Owens had a thing, so that was 36, I believe.
Did you hear that the contestants signed a thing today saying they will not do any demonstrations at the podium? And all that's going in my head is, what are you going to do to me?
Nothing. You've already won.
I will take
my Giancarlo and the.
Oh, I would do the Ray Lewis dance on the podium and be like, now what?
Dude, that's not a demonstration. That's just you doing a chicken dance.
It's not the chicken dance.
It's not that far off.
By the way, call back. Do you know who
This
loves?
is growing on me, by the way.
Do you know who loves the chicken dance?
Samantha?
My bubby. Favorite
No,
dance.
there you go. Perfect. That sounds on brand.
Question number 4. Made famous in the 1992 Barcelona Olympics, USA Basketball annihilated the competition, known as the Dream Team. There were 12 members. Zack, name 9 of them.
Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Patrick Ewing, Christian Laettner, Chris Mullin, John Stockton, Karl Malone, Charles Barkley. That's 9, but who am I forgetting? Clyde Drexler is 10. David Robinson.
You're missing 1.
That's 11. This is 12.
Yeah,
who did I forget? Pippen, Scottie Pippen. All of them.
Amazing.
I gotta make the changes.
That was.
But by the way, John Stockton used to walk around and he would talk to people like, "Oh, what are you into?"
I saw it.
Yeah, I'm on your shirt. Like you didn't know what I do, who he was.
Yeah, I saw that in the one documentary.
They have a couple documentaries.
Question number 5. Which city has hosted the Summer Olympics the most? Which city?
City?
If it was by country, it's America by a lot. But which city has hosted the Summer Olympics? Let me know if you need a hint.
I'm going to say Berlin has had a... No. Don't shake me off. Just...
Give me the heater. I want the...
You want it right now? L.A.
I want the out-of-stater.
L.A.
Probably it was like once. As recent as 2012.
Athens? Like, that's boring.
It was
I have no idea.
London?
I had no idea they had more than
London 3 times, but Paris in 2024 will tie them for 3.
Well, that hasn't happened yet. Let's see if we're all here in 2024.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and give you a bonus one just because I like you. The most decorated Olympian in Olympics history with 28 gold medals. Sorry, 28 medals, 23 of them are gold. Named?
Michael Phelps, I think.
That is correct. Where is he from?
Portland, Oregon.
The Baltimore Bullet, the flying fish himself.
What an ass. And he also has what other record in other sport?
Slaying women? I don't know.
No. He has made on record, and it's on video, the longest putt ever recorded in golf history.
I saw that.
It's like a 400-yard putt. It's a nonsense.
Did see that. So we were talking about this a couple weeks ago about, people say you look like it's always, I think I said this during Olympics time. I get Phelps a little bit sometimes too, which is one of those I don't find it to be a compliment.
And Samantha, yes, I know where he was from. That's why I gave some nonsensical City. I got you.
I don't
I'm
find it
kind
a
of scared.
compliment. I got Phelps the other day from somebody. They're like, "Oh, you kind of look like Michael Phelps," but some people think he looks a little special.
As do you. No, he's fine looking. What's wrong with Phelps? He's special.
At which point, I give my 3 degrees of separation, or I call it the 3 degrees of Kevin Bacon. Michael Phelps' mother was a teacher, which is very well documented. She taught she was a principal at a school.
Spiro Agnew High.
One of her teachers that worked under her or whatever, I had as a patient. There you go.
Ooh, that was the curveball. Because I assume that you had as a teacher, but as a patient. Not bad.
A patient, not her, somebody that worked with her.
Yeah, I got you, but that's not a bad. That was the curveball. I didn't see that part of it coming.
I just feel like if I wanted something to happen to Michael Phelps, I could have followed that guy home, then followed him to work. Then I could have done something.
Well, done something bad to him, like Tanya Harding? Who are you, Galooly? You're an animal. And by the way, he would kick the shit out of you. He's like 6'6" and beat, cock Diesel. Who are you?
Are you kidding me? Those little legs, I would roundhouse him right to the thigh.
No way. He kills you. Butterfly, swim, whatever. Stroke.
All right, Zach.
I lost count. What did I get? Like 4 out of 6? 3 out of 6?
Do you keep track of these anymore?
No. Yes.
You got 1, 2, 3. I'll give you 3.5.
I got Phelps.
Oh, speaking of Phelps, one more thing that I'd heard about him. Back when flip phones, camera phones got really big, he used to travel around with these big Goombas. Or Goonies, really. Probably Goombas as well.
Goombas? That's the guys in the Met game with the out of work shirts.
And they had these like Men in Black flashlights. And if you put your phone up to take a picture, they would like click, 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 and you couldn't get it. Then they come over and make you delete your picture. Furthermore, then he got caught like smoking a bong on a camera, which made no sense. So
no, these things happen. When you're that stoned, if the Goombas don't come with you.
All right, well, Zach, I hope you're having a better week than the Jets are having, because I don't know if you heard that news yet, but you might need a new assistant coach.
One of the coaches died. Yeah, I'm available for hire. Let's go. How bad could I be? They've been horrible for 40 years. You think I'm going to do any worse? They win 3 games a year. How much worse could I do? And by the way,
3.
I finished both of these beers, even the bad one.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. We do it live Tuesdays, 8:30. Post it on Saturdays. Rate, review, subscribe. Do all the things. I had fun.
It was good times.
Good times.
Gold medal episode.
Gold. I give you the bronze.
That's fine. I'll take it. Bye.